Hello, hello. I'm live. I think I have to mute. Let me know if you can hear me when you get in here. Welcome, 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 everyone, to PDINA. I'm so happy to be here with you all. Oh, wait a minute. My live is not. Hey, Michelle.
Hi there. How are
All
you?
right, hello, hello, hello. Okay. Um, Give me 1 second. I have just went live and I'm not sure if it's live. YouTube offers so many different ways for people to do these live streams.
Mhm.
And I've been trying to play around with doing a live stream that is in different software so that I can do different things to make the live more engaging.
StreamYard has it where you can share slides and stuff, but I haven't figured it out.
It's called Streamer.
StreamYard, you know what they use for the
Oh
remote?
yeah, yeah, StreamYard. But that's the thing. I mean, do I really want to pay that much every month if I'm not doing lives all the time? You
Right.
know, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know.
It's
I'm it's like one of those things where you have to weigh your options, and I'm trying to figure out how I can
right.
try to do something that is not as, because that can get expensive, and I do want to go live more often. So I'm
Get it
looking to see if we're actually live. Do you know if I'm live right now?
and see. I don't know if we're live. See, that's what I like about StreamYard is you can see the comments. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll be able to see the comments here in a second, but
Okay.
I don't think I am. I don't know what's going on.
Close to where attention goes. If
Streaming.
we have 200, it says live, 270.
Second.
We
Oh,
are.
yeah, it is. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am trying my best to do this. Thank you, everyone, for being here with me today. I have a special guest with me today, Michelle with Royal Daily Tea. Say hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
And tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you lately.
I'm just busy working on both of my channels. I just put out a video today talking about Meghan Markle's rich girl aesthetic and how I think that's a problem for her. And I'm hoping to do something on the Monaco Royals coming up on my other channel. Yeah, we'll do
Oh,
in fashion. Yeah, it's
okay.
Harry and Meghan just keep you busy full time. It's hard to focus on other royals when you have Harry and Meghan constantly.
Yeah, it seems like they're just inundating everybody with like so much drama, things that they've been planning to do
Right.
for, I'm sure, the last year or so. And especially after they saw that they lost their Spotify deal, this whole rebranding, being named the Grifters, Hollywood, a reporter calling them how the biggest losers, or wasn't that the headline, or was
Yeah,
it?
happy grifters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grifters by the Spotify executive. Yeah.
Yes.
But Hollywood Reporter called them the biggest losers.
Right. That's not
Yeah,
a good look.
that
Yeah,
was what.
to go down from here. I think that they're in a lot of trouble right now with everything that's happening with Harry and his court case that's happening right now, trying to get him deported. It's not looking good for Harry and Meghan. What do you think about that? Do you think he might actually get deported, or do you think he's going to slide by again?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I was looking at that. And let me just go back to the article here because that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. So, just really quickly, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking a little bit about the news with Harry and Meghan. I have some information that I want to talk about in respect to the king, and a raffle that I'm going to be doing, just giving some information out about that. And also, there is going to be a solar eclipse coming up, and it's going to be going through my hometown of Ohio. So I'll be doing a show on the day of the eclipse, so we can all experience that together while doing my show. So with that said, that's what's coming up today on the channel. But let me just go to this article that I saw. Hold on, my phone is here. Going on. Okay, good. So there is this article that talked about Harry and his possible deportation because of his book Spare, talking about how he was doing drugs and all the things that he said that puts his his time here in the States in jeopardy. And I can see that the Biden administration is really pushing back on that, because they're not saying that any of the information that was put in the book was true. Like, that was the headline, that he could have been just making that up, saying it's lies. Although the book talked about this being an honest perspective of Harry's story and everything. So there's a lot of contradictions there. But this article that I saw said that Harry could face humiliating return to the UK if he is kicked out of the US over his Spare admissions. His wife, we know, would have to decide whether or not to go with him, taking the two children, Archie and Lily. The painful reality is that the prince faces, if the prince has to face this judge in Washington on orders of the publication on his visa application form, and it could show that he lied when he answered these questions. Do you or have you ever taken illegal drugs or been addicted or a drug addict? Now, ticking yes to this box would disqualify him, or we know any ordinary person, from an American visa. So in his biography, Spare, he talked about being autobiography, the fifth in line to the British throne. He wrote about repeatedly smoking weed, cannabis, trying cocaine, and ingesting magic mushrooms. And how he talked about, we remember where he said he got the mushrooms from Courtney Cox, which was such a dig at her and relationships to the people in Hollywood in general. I think it's just so really bad for him, wouldn't you say, Michelle? I mean,
I adjusted my volume. Can you guys hear me? Because people were saying I was too low. Is the volume better?
Oh, my volume is too low?
No, they were saying mine was too low. Can y'all hear me now?
Oh, because I can hear you really well.
I don't want to shout. Can you guys hear me? Can you tell me in the comments if you can hear my voice?
Okay.
No one's saying anything, so hopefully it's okay.
Okay, let me go to
I just adjusted it, so hopefully it's okay.
Okay, yeah, I hope it's okay, because
Out.
you wouldn't want to not be able to hear you. Okay, so yes, they're seeing yes better, Michelle. Okay, good.
Sorry, the lighting's just terrible.
Now, remember what I was saying about Courtney Cox, though, how he had really thrown her under the bus by saying that he had got these mushrooms from her. Like, everyone in Hollywood is looking at that and just like, he can't be trusted. So we know that he has outed people in Hollywood for taking drugs. He's taking drugs. And the Heritage Foundation, we know they are challenging the Department of Homeland Security to release Prince Harry's documentation as a matter of immense public interest. And that's right. We're interested, are we not? I know I am.
I think he really stepped in it this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is going back to the British Crown in 1776. There is a fundamental belief in equal justice for all before the law. And that means no special favors for anyone, however wealthy, titled, or well-connected. Okay. So this being a part of our our founding fathers' belief in what we believe as Americans, like his special circumstances should not be a part of him being able to just slide through. So, Homeland Security lawyer John Bardo has argued that admissions in a book are not proof of anything. The book isn't sworn testimony. Adding, saying something in a book doesn't necessarily make it true, which is a bunch of malarkey. As far as I'm concerned, that's malarkey.
Lawyer speak.
So, so while this is undeniably the case, it is a strong circumstantial evidence. As the Heritage Foundation director, Niall Gardner, has pointed out, Harry has never denied anything in his own book, including extensive widespread drug use. What is equally undeniable is that it was extremely foolish of the prince to make this admission of criminal behavior within the hard covers of his book Spare, especially as he was already living in California when his book was published in January of last year. The Heritage Foundation wins its case, and the prince is found to have ticked no to the drug use question. The consequences would be severe. So, what in general are your thoughts about this? Because I personally believe he having ticked this box no shows that he lied on the application, right? So either way, he's not going to look favorable, and he's going to be in a bad position. What do you believe?
Well, I mean, I find it interesting, but I also believe, as we both know, he's a one percenter. They have a different set of rules than the rest of us. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's going to be protected. I don't believe he's going to be deported, but it's going to make him look extremely bad on both sides. So does Barnes and Noble need to file Spare under fiction? Is this a work of fiction now? Is this not an autobiography? He
Mm-hmm.
listened to his audiobook. He's
Yeah.
into the universe, these things he said is fact. He even
Right.
did several interviews where he said he was so happy and relieved, to get my story out, to tell the world my horrible life. My brother
Yeah.
got than me. He got the bigger bedroom than me, PDINA, and I have substances to cope. He literally said that on multiple televised interviews. Even that pay-per-view event where we watched him getting therapy, which was talked about a lot of stuff.
That's right. That's right. He did that.
A lie? All that was a lie just to sell books? So it's like you're pretty much proving to everyone that you're a liar. You're
Yeah.
not a liar. So is it better to say you're a liar, or is it better to come out and admit the truth that you did something illegal and you lied on your application? Either way, he's a liar. Is he
Right.
lying or is he lying in the book?
That's a
So
good point.
either way, he's kind of admitting, an untruth somewhere, and they're having major consequences.
That's a really good point. So he and Meghan are going to lose, and they will continue to lose their credibility. And I also want to talk about this whole new potential partnership that Meghan has with Oprah Winfrey. I definitely want to get into that as well. But just looking at this, I think Harry is definitely going to find himself in a position where he's going to have more stress, more of these things coming at him while he's living in America, a country in a state that is very foreign to him, while at the same time, his father is very ill. So you compound all of this then with the stress of the rebranding, having to make money, Meghan not wanting to go back to the UK, but Harry wanting to go back to the UK. It is a compound of disaster waiting to implode. And his life, we are literally watching Harry's life go downhill in real time.
And
That's what I see.
And I feel like history could change in a blink of an eye, because right now we're in 2024, and we all know we had two, major royals had major illnesses. That wasn't on our royal bingo cards for 2024, right? We thought
Right.
2023 was literally an honest horribilis, and 2024 is like, hold my beer, I got you. I mean, literally, we're not even in March yet, and we've had the king had prostate enlargement surgery, then he had cancer. Now Catherine has been out till Easter. That's really scary.
Yeah, that is really scary.
Scary. It could, change the future, especially now that his father is ill, right? So if he can't stay in America legally, and if him and Meghan divorce, where is he going to go? Currently, the UK doesn't want him back. The royal family don't want him back. But I was thinking about this morning. What if, and we're playing devil's advocate, so don't throw anything at your computer, King Charles gets really ill. Now there's, okay, I've heard rumors that we could run into a Prince Regent. Let's say Charles gets really ill with cancer in late 2025. And William now has to be Prince Regent, right? Then we have the problem with Catherine being ill and the stress of William and Catherine. They have young children. He's 11. They don't have any working royals between 40 and under. We have 4 senior royals who are over 75. The Queen's cousins are in their 80s. So then we're down to the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, Princess Anne, William and Catherine, and possibly Queen Camilla. If Charles unfortunately passed away, the shock and crisis that would happen would be massive. So
Yeah.
use that opportunity to get out of jail card and go back to his family. And I think he would, only under the most dire circumstances, but the only way he could come back is if he completely ditched his life in California, including Meghan. He would
Yeah.
have to be a full-time working royal to support his brother, but that would be a very big hill to walk up. But I do believe that blood is thicker than water. And if their father died suddenly, that would be a huge crisis. They're not expecting that. I'm not saying it's happening, but there have been talks of a Prince Regency.
You
have to have
Yeah.
it. So
And
I
I
believe
think you're right.
he wants to go back. Let's be real. He wants to be a royal. I don't think he's happy with Meghan in Hollywood. I think the Markle sparkle is gone. If you look at him, he's a fish out of water. He
He
doesn't
really
not be a royal. He's not happy with Meghan in Hollywood. Look at the body language at the Invictus Games when they were sitting at that dinner. He was moving away from her. It's all for show. And he was very bitter when they brought up his family, because I believe he's hurt. He's upset because he wants to go back, but they're not accepting him right now. But what happens 6 months from now? What happens a year from now if things get worse? There could be a possibility. And I don't think Meghan is enough to hold him in America. I think he's kind of stuck right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything you said is on point. And this is some news that I wanted to talk about when we talk about the king and his health. And I am surprised. This has been in the news, but a lot of people are not talking about it. Okay. Now, this is coming from the Business Times in China, which is a reputable source. Okay. This is the headline. King Charles allegedly given 6 months to live amid pancreatic cancer battle. Dire health forecast shakes royal family core. Have you heard this information? Because I stumbled across this article and I hadn't even heard that they're saying in this reputable publication that the king has 6 months. Have you heard that?
I've heard the 6 months, but I've heard rumblings of a Prince Regency. And, I know you're talking about, what is it, the comment or what's happening tonight? The solar eclipse, what's happening tonight?
Oh, no, that's not tonight. That's going to be in April.
Astrologers, I mean, I'm not saying I believe it, but a lot of people are saying that they do see a new king in 2026, and there is a Prince Regency that's being talked about. So if his cancer is more dire than we think, that could be a possibility. Now, I'm not going to diagnose and say what kind of cancer he has, because I don't want to wish that upon anybody. I really hope
we don't know. Right.
Time, like I said, I was thinking about that today, that the talks of the Prince Regency, they're not prepared for King Charles to die right now. They're really not. They're not in a place. Yes, William is great. Catherine is great, but she's having health problems. They have young children, and there's a huge age gap in working royals, and they're all stressed to capacity. And so if this happens, I think that could be the way for Harry to come back and support his brother, kind of a full circle moment. But he would not be a part of that equation at all.
Meghan would not. And there would have to be a separation before Harry's even ever welcomed back the way he wants to be welcomed back. He will never have the trust as long as he's still with Meghan, because the royal family knows this is all originated with Meghan and her ambition to be a Hollywood celebrity. This all, like my last video I spoke about, like we should never forget how she came into this fold. That was her objective. So anything that she is a part of in terms of with Harry is going to be built on a false pretense. It's not going to be authentic. It's not going to come from a place of being genuine and really there to help. No matter what sorries come about, it's built on a lie and a false representation of what Meghan is there for. And as long as Harry is still connected to her, it's just not going to be a good thing. So yeah, this article really shook me when I read it, because I had not heard this. I'm sorry, say that one more time, you cut out.
But I have heard the Prince Regency, which is
okay. So maybe that's why we're hearing so much of the Regency talk, only because it is a dire situation.
Right, and there won't be an abdication. There will never be an abdication. But you remember the last 4 or 5 years with Queen Elizabeth, Charles was a Prince Regent. Now it wasn't official, but he was acting on behalf of the Queen. The Queen was constantly canceling her engagements because she unfortunately was just not physically able. So I do believe that if King Charles got to that point, they would have a Prince Regency in place. And that's just a conversation we're going to have anyway, right? Because he is. But the thing is like everyone just expects King Charles to live to be 95 because his mother did, his father, his grandmother, but that's not always the case, especially if you bring in the big C, right? And we don't know how difficult it is. It could just be, hopefully something he can recover from, but something's telling me in my gut, Pradina, that yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing. So and this is one of those uncomfortable things that you have to talk about. And I'm just going to give you something very personal to myself and why I feel you have to talk about things that you don't want to happen. But if you don't, it could be disastrous, because that's what happened when my father passed away. He was living with a woman, or he was married to a woman who had her own children. I was always afraid to talk to my dad in his last days about a will. Did you have a will? What are your wishes? And because I never talked about that, and then when he ended up finally passing away, there were questions that I was always afraid to ask. And all the information that happened between my father and his passing was handled by my father's stepchildren, because I was a coward. I didn't want to talk to my dad about his impending death. We all are dying, right? We all are going to die. That's a reality. It's not like if you say it, it's going to happen like right at that moment. But because it is a reality that will happen, you have to talk about it. Because what will the royal family do? What will they do? You have to prepare for these things. That's a reality. So people having to mention and say things is just what you have to do to avoid what will actually come at some point. And you want to make it easy. You don't want to make it where you should have said something when the person was alive. What if the king has certain wishes? What if, it just is what it is. So you're feeling like this is more serious than not, what's going on with the king right now.
Could be. It could be. And I think it would take a family crisis, catastrophe, shock in order for Harry to be able to even come back in any capacity, because right now we know that door is firmly closed. He's the PR prince. Nobody wants anything to do with him. But if it got in dire straits, that could change things. And people know family tragedies can bring people together. but he wouldn't be able to be a half in and half out. It wouldn't work with his current dynamic. So to me, that would be his get out of jail card. And I believe he would stand by William, even though they've had a huge falling out. They're still brothers.
Mm-hmm.
There for him when Diana died. And I think it would be kind of a full circle moment that if their father died, I think he would do the right thing. And people would respect him for that. Now, granted, they probably won't love him immediately, but if he full on went back to the monarchy, gave up everything, was humble, and stood by his brother's side, I think people would learn to respect him again. It would be not overnight, but I do believe he would choose his family this time over Meghan. See, before he chose Meghan over his family, and now 6 years into the marriage, where is he at? He's miserable. He's a disaster. And he wants to go back to the family, and they're like, nope, you can't be half in, half out, and you've been a traitor, basically. But now that the family is suffering with Catherine, we don't know what's going on with her, and King Charles, that changes things, in my opinion. But he would have to leave Meghan and everything behind. Like, there's no going back.
Yeah. And I think he wants to. Yeah. I think so. So this is the thing. This is the thing that I noticed. And I want to put together some video to show this because I've been seeing it. You let me know if this is what you've been seeing too. So when they were at Invictus in Canada, we know that we saw them holding hands. We saw them putting on a good front. But there were times when they were not expected to be on camera, like what you mentioned before, where we saw them from behind. Harry was leaned over to the side. He did not once look at her when they were watching. I like what Paula says. She calls him Bubble. Buble, Bubble. Okay. And he was making these work comments, and then they would laugh, and Meghan would look over and she touched him, and she was definitely interacting with him, Harry. But Harry did not interact with her. And there were other moments too when they were standing next to Michael and his wife, where they were together, and Meghan and Harry were not together. They were apart. So we can see that they're clearly trying to show a united front, but they're not together in a way that is authentic when they are trying to put on a united front. Because it's these moments when we can see they have definitely not shown us the truth of how they're feeling about each other, at least Harry, for that matter. And I think Harry's feeling a lot of resentment because he is definitely going to regret everything about his circumstances should something happen to his father sooner rather than later. And he has not moved on what he wants to do right now, which is go back to being in the royal family, because this is why he is making that goal to do this. Oh my goodness, I'm getting super chats. Okay, I gotta address these, but it's so clear to how we can see it happening. Like, Harry does not want to be with her anymore. It's like, you can't fool us. You can't fool us women. It's like we see you. Okay, we got you, right?
80% of communication is nonverbal, honey. And what you're saying with your body is not coming out your mouth. Meghan once, but it doesn't work. And I think Meghan is afraid she's losing him. If you notice, she's got the double grip.
Yes. Yes. This girl, she's like, she's like being over dramatic, really trying to show, like, we gotta show we're happy. I love you. You still want to be with me, right? Right. I'm still your girl, right? Like, she is panicking. And there was an article that talked about this, what she would do if he came into the fold. We're going to get to that too. But let me just go to my super chats. Okay, 1 second. Let me just go to my super chats because I just saw something pop up here. Let me just go. Okay. I got 2 of them, right? Okay, here we go. Here's the first one from KLG Armstrong. Not sure if it's been mentioned yet, but I saw on news article King Charles has started his succession planning already. Wow. Okay, so have you heard this, Royal Daily Tea? Uh-oh. Are you there? I can't. Oh,
I'm coming back.
Okay. Let me just address this until you get back. So, so KLG Armstrongs, thank you so much for your super chat. I really super sticker or chat super chat. Thank you very much for that question, because I had not heard that, my dear. If you are a dear, I don't know. Looks like you're a dear. So had you heard that? Because I hadn't heard that.
King Charles is planning his succession.
Yes.
I think every king has a plan for his succession because they have to plan for the funeral, right? They probably planned his funeral and everything. But
But hold on. I think the caveat to that is that with everything with Harry now wanting to come back, and maybe some recent things that are not inside the planning, that is part of the normal planning, right? Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of along with the Prince Regency, is that there would be vacation, and that if Charles got incapacitated, there would be a Prince Regent, which would be Prince William, and that would leave room for Harry to come in, possibly. But I think the brothers have a lot of work to do.
Oh my goodness.
That if Meghan was out of the picture, I think William might be able to depend on his brother, because if his father passed away, he's going to be devastated.
Well, you think about what happened to Diana.
Yes, full circle. This is what I see, Padina. The two brothers behind the coffin. And I literally started crying this morning because if you remember Princess Diana, that was a shock.
Yeah, it was.
William looked after Harry, and now I can see Harry looking after William if his father passes in the next year or two.
Really?
Because Harry, if you remember back before Meghan, they really did have a good brotherly bond. Yes, every brother is going to have a fight, but he was, in my opinion, happier with the three of them when it was Catherine and William. He wanted to have his own Catherine. Unfortunately, he got a Meghan, but he never planned to go to America and become a Rena prince. That was not on his plan. He wanted to find a Catherine to be in the royal fold like William. That's my opinion. But he got a Meghan and his life completely changed. He wasn't planning on being where he is now, right?
Yeah, I think he thought she was a Catherine, and then Meghan, because I can tell because I'm an actress and I'm an American woman. I can just envision what I would do, and I know I'd be talking to him like, Harry, they're racist. Harry, you can make a lot of money. We can be on our own, and you don't have to be second fiddle to your brother. We can go to America, and you can be the king over there. You can be, a number one prince in America. Like, she put it in him to want to go to America, and she fed him all these things that he was like, yeah, that's right, yeah. And he fell for the okie doke.
Then you have the race card, which was kind of something that the ace she threw into the pile, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of changed a lot of things, right? The whole race card. So I think they backed themselves into a corner where they really can't get out of, right? And maybe it's a real aesthetic moment. But she looks like a Hollywood wannabe. She is literally like, woo.
We're going to talk about that. Okay, let me get my other super chat. So thank you, KLG Armstrongs. A super sticker from Patricia Haynes. Thank you so much, Patricia. It's from another Patricia. I appreciate your super sticker. Thank you. Okay, so what you have said is so on point around everything with this couple and William and Harry being close, and how he just might be the one to come back and try to comfort William. I think he's going to have so much regret from his relationship with Meghan that he is going to win William's heart back again once he has dumped Meghan. Right? Like, once he shows that I lost my mind, I fell for a skank, and I'm just sorry. I think that's what's going to happen.
Have to earn his respect, but I say it's a possibility if something happens and we go into major shock, unexpected early death, which I hope doesn't happen. And then of course we don't know what's happening with Catherine either. So it's just family is going through it right now, and I think Harry kind of wants to be there in his own way, but there's so much animosity and anger and hurt and trust broken, and of course he's got Meghan right now, so I don't see it happening now, but in the next year or two, possibly.
Yeah. Okay. Patty Ann, and another fellow Patricia Ann, because I'm a Patricia Ann too. Thank you, Patty Ann, for your super sticker. She says, thanks for being you. Oh, that is so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patty. from another Patty. I used to go by Patty when I was younger. And, when I got older, I went by Patricia. I'm Patricia now. But yeah, I used to be Patty Ann. Thank you, Patty. Okay, so the other thing is Meghan was seen recently with this Terry Woods, who is the new hire for Oprah Winfrey.
Okay.
And I believe that she is trying to tell us something, is she not? By showing us and having people show up for those pap walks, because she's not really just there and people are just finding her leaving a restaurant, right? It's telling us something. Now, I have my theory. What do you believe it's telling us?
Well, it's the Meghan show. She's kind of back to being, the what is it, the parking lot princess. But now she's upgraded to restaurants. So it was weird, 2 in 1 day. She had a power lunch and a power dinner. So I don't know. I find this very suspicious.
Okay.
There's something going on behind the scenes with little Meghan. With the whole limonada, squeezing an old lemon, hoping to get some more juice. I mean, good luck with that, sister. I don't know. I think there's just something really weird. First of all, she's gotten very thin. Have you noticed? She's literally disappearing.
She's got the Ozempic look for sure.
Thick, and the clothes just.
Sorry, did I say it wrong? Ozempic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And she's just drowning in these ridiculously overexpensive clothing, but she's loving it. So there's just something going on with WME. Maybe she's about to get dumped. She's trying to be seen with people, get people talking, get the buzz going. I don't know. I think there's something going on, but I don't quite know what it is.
Okay, well, this is what I think. Okay. I think Meghan is getting ready to partner with Oprah Winfrey and her channel with Apple. Like, we remember when they did that Live to Lead, and they did something with Oprah on mental health. It was on Apple as well. Well, this new Terry Wood employee is heading up original content, and she's going to be looking for new content for people, I believe, such as Meghan, and they're going to work with Apple to have some show. And I believe the TIG is going to be a TV version, because apparently they're saying that Meghan wants to be the next Gwyneth Paltrow or the next Martha Stewart. She's trying to be the one that does that similar line of work with lifestyle as a blog, but I believe she's going to do it as a television lifestyle guru, and she's going to keep her blog on her website. But let me tell you why it's going to fail. If this is what she's going to do, this is why it's going to fail, folks. Okay? Because I know what I'm talking about. This woman cannot work with people because her head is too big. Like I've always said, she's walking sideways, lopsided, and she can't see straight while she's trying to navigate life. She can't see right because things is crooked, lopsided. And because she cannot humble herself to work with people in a way that makes a cordial relationship, she can't partner with people who know more than she does. She can't partner with people who are going to tell her how to do things. Because think about what happened when she was in the royal family. They had a way of doing things. You needed to follow the rule book. You had to be a team player. She could not do that, even if it meant she had more celebrity or she was more recognized by people because she was aligned with the royal family now. So what did she do? She broke from the royal family when they were using their professional know-how to tell her what she needs to do. You got a responsibility here. Whoever Meghan decides to work with, if it's Oprah Winfrey, if it's Netflix, if it's Limonada, if it's Spotify, right? We saw Spotify left her. She will always be on the losing end of any working relationship because she cannot take direction, because her ego is so big. She will lose every time. So anytime I see any potential working relationship with Oprah Winfrey, with maybe Tyler Perry, she will be on the losing end every time, because this woman cannot humble herself to do the right thing, because she has got a big stupid head on her that cannot listen and take direction. That is why she has failed at every possible point of being in the royal family in past relationships. Look how she treated her ex-husband. Look how she treats her family now, her husband's family, how she's treated her own family. This is a woman who cannot find recognition to the greater good that she wants to come to her. She'll keep looking, keep finding another end to something better because she can't humble herself.
You're absolutely right. And the thing about Meghan Markle is, one, the public don't like her. But besides that, you're right. And the thing is, Meghan has burned so many bridges on her way up to mediocrity. She's going to go all the way back down. But even her Suits co-stars, they don't F with her. Okay. They don't want anything to do with her. Deal or No Deal, she burned them, said they called me a bimbo. They have a reboot right now. They have a brand new show about the Millionaire's Island. That show's got a reboot. She is not going to be a part of that. Suits is getting a reboot. She won't be a part of that. She, Spotify dumped her. They went nothing. And I also believe that Netflix is on the way out. We all know that this is probably going to expire. So that's why Harry and her are trying to get with Paramount. And that could be why she's trying to partner with Oprah for that lifestyle blog / talk show, right?
Mm.
The problem is you need people to watch, to like you, and people do not like her. So she's got a problem. She's not liked in the industry, and she's not liked in the public, and she most certainly is not liked over in the UK with the royal family and the royal watchers. So Meghan Markle's got herself on an island of one with her rich girl aesthetic. But Harry's about to bail, Netflix is going to bail, and I think this might be, you're correct, this might be her swan song, her last ditch something. But people don't like her. She's ghosted so many people on her way up the ladder that it's going to come full circle, and karma's coming a calling.
That's right. We're gonna be watching. You got your popcorn.
People don't like Oprah either. She's just rich.
You got your popcorn.
Yeah, girl, I'm gonna get my popcorn, my Diet Coke. We'll have
Let's watch it. I'm telling you right now, that girl, she's keeping me entertained the whole way because I'm like laughing, looking at her. Girl, you think you get ready to do so well? Oprah, okay, let me see what you're gonna do. What you gonna do, girl? Okay, because I'm laughing. I'm like, okay, let me just watch it fail at that now. And it's like I enjoy watching her fail because her ego and how she treats people. I just think about the damage she has caused. That's what gives me enjoyment because my whole thing is about doing right by people, being a nice person. That's what I teach the kids in my program. It's like you can't go through life being like this, and when I find people that are like this, unless you're going to redeem yourself and humble yourself and say you're sorry and authentically and do the right thing, I'ma laugh and watch you fall because that's what you deserve for your big ego. I want to thank Shauna Wana. Is that how you say it? For your super chat, super sticker. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I have another one too. Krista F. She is sending a super chat. Did Harry's lawyers talk to DHS to come up with the false book argument? If not, you think Harry will sue DHS seeing that they are lying? DHS. Michelle.
Was that his attorney that said that it was false?
Yes, I think that might have been his attorney. So you think they came up with that false book argument? And if they end up, or Harry ends up getting in trouble with that, he could actually go around and sue his attorneys that gave him that to say?
Well, then what would be his reprieve? That it was true and that he lied on his application? So, like I said, he's kind of got one lie here and one lie here. So which one is the bigger lie? The lying on the application?
The one on the application for sure.
Falsehood might be the only way he can say this arse, right?
Yeah.
Just inflating the truth. It's just to sell books.
Yeah.
Said no, I didn't lie in the book. Well, then you're admitting you used drugs. Then where's the application? How did you get in the country? Let's pull up the paperwork. So I don't know, but it seemed like that was his defense, and it's a very bad defense, but that's his only defense.
Yeah.
He exaggerated his use in the book. even though he forgot about the several interviews that he doubled down on and the audio version. Let's not forget about that. So I don't know. I can't imagine he would sue them because, okay, so let's say he loses the case, then what's going to happen? Is he going to get deported? When then he's going to come back and sue? Like what's going to happen? I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's stuck between a rock and a hard spot, I think. I think he will definitely try to throw someone under the bus to help himself. I think he would definitely do that. Yeah.
And I kind of think the royal family might step in and be like, no, he's good. Just keep him over there. We don't want to really.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think Harry is just it's just so intriguing to me. Before I go into the next story, I want to talk about. I want to just let everyone know about a raffle. It's a free raffle, and look what I got here. Do you guys know who Bansky is? Have you heard of Bansky?
Haven't.
Yeah. You haven't? He's well known in the UK, is what I'm told. But I have these Princess Diana or Diana, Princess of Wales, we all know, money. Has she been queen? That I'm going to be raffling out, and you can go to my website, PDINA.net, to go to the very bottom of the website and just shoot me some information with your name, your email, and I'm going to enter you in this raffle. Just say I want to be in the raffle, the free raffle, and you will be in a raffle to win some of this money here. And I'm going to be raffling off this beautiful painting of Catherine, Princess of Wales, now our new Princess of Wales painting that was donated to me, and you can win this. So just reach out to me on pdina.net, and you will be asked to be entered into the free raffle, and I will enter you to be in the free raffle. And yes, so let's go to one of my next stories here. Okay, Meghan against Harry. Meghan against Harry, returning to the royal family as is too much bad blood. So Meghan does not want Harry to return to the royal family. Okay, so Meghan against Harry, returning to royal family is too much bad blood. The Meghan and Harry's possible return to royal duties is said to be out of the question, despite the Duke of Sussex recently returning to the UK. Meghan and Harry their potential return to royal duties is reportedly out of the question. A source close to Harry reportedly said last week that the Duke would try to assist if his father, King Charles III, requested his help. It was also claimed that Harry has told pals that he would temporarily take on a royal role while Charles is unwell, following several warm exchanges since the King's recent cancer diagnosis was made public. But royal commentator has shared his thoughts on the likelihood of Prince Harry returning to royal duties. He believes it's out of the question for him and Meghan to resume their previous roles, especially after they stepped down as senior working royals in 2020. He says that he wasn't insincere in terms of wanting to see his family, but it's absolutely out of the question that they could resume royal duties while members of the royal family don't trust them because of the way that they have behaved. He also said they seem to think that Harry might be interested in some form of activity during this tough time for the royal family, with the king being unwell and Catherine still recovering. Mr. Fitzwilliam then imagined a scenario where Prince Harry resumed his royal duties. It could be that he would return in a bizarre spectacle as the global media would be all over it. We did talk a little bit about this, but I think that Harry is saying this because he's trying to prepare Meghan for the likelihood that he will be having to go back and forth. Because if you remember when he spoke to Will Reeves during the CBS interview, he said that he does have some plans to go through the United Kingdom, and some of his plans will take him to the UK. I believe that Harry is going to definitely be going back for some periods of time because he knows that his father is not well and he wants to not have a bad potential conscience on his hands should his father pass away while he's still in the United States. So I think he's going to have plans to go back for a certain time period. Meghan is completely against it. And this is the other thing, the children. The children will not be allowed to go to the United Kingdom because Meghan won't allow it. Do you know why she won't allow it, Michelle?
Well, I don't know if she can actually not allow it, because the rumor I heard was that Harry was going to go back in May with the children to visit his father. That was what I heard, that he wants to bring the children to see his father.
Mm-hmm.
Meghan is nervous, but on another hand, I think Meghan and Harry both want him to come back as a part-time role because it's good for their brand. It keeps that.
I'm sorry, 1 second. I just got to clear up. I just realized something. The question that we just asked for the last guy, DHS is Department of Homeland Security.
So Department of Homeland Security is the one saying that Harry lied?
Yes, because they believe that they're with the Biden administration saying that he lied what was in the book because they're trying to protect him essentially.
They're covering themselves.
Yes, they're covering themselves because they know we should have the right to see this information. Like what I said about 1776, right?
The Homeland Security basically is saying, oh, well, it wasn't true what he said in the book.
Yeah.
Themselves, because people are questioning them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Harry's attorneys are with them or not, but it sounds like Biden and the administration are coming down with this kooky excuse, but I don't think Harry's going to fight that. I don't think so. He's like,
no,
yeah,
he's not.
You know, so yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, but if he loses, he's not going to sue Homeland Security. I mean, they'll just deport him.
You can't sue the government. We can't. You're not allowed to. You can't sue the government, and but he would want them to say that, of course, for him. And I think it's one of those situations where Harry is just going to have to make up something that is going to get him out of it. What is he going to do? It's just like one of those things that compounds the stress that he is in right now. It just makes things so much more like worse for him. This is why he looks so miserable. This is why he can't put on a front that all is well when they're holding hands. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention, when we saw them when they were at the Invictus event, we're in Canada, Whistler, Canada, whenever they were together, they didn't have those exchanges where they would look at each other while holding hands. They were always holding hands, but looking straight, talking to other people. So to your point about body language, their body language is showing us that they're not, Harry is not happy with her. And, she's just faking it with that old stupid fake smile on her face all day long. It's just like, just stop smiling all the time, woman. You just look so stupid and goofy. We're not feeling you.
It's like you were filming a Hallmark movie. If you would have told me this was PR for a charity, I literally look like a Hallmark movie, like they were filming a commercial. They didn't look like a couple who was in love. It was all shown off of the cameras. It was so fake.
Exactly.
The interaction between the two of them, very subtle, but you can tell that there's a lot of affection there. But with Harry and Meghan, it's all for the cameras.
It's all for the cameras. Yeah. So that's the thing. So when we saw them, we know what's going on there. But I think moving to this question now about the children and not going to the UK, Meghan believes that her children would be stuck over there. I believe that she thinks that she could lose her children if they're in, and I know people believe that there are no children. I hear that all the time. I hear it all the time. Until I have proof of that, I'm saying that there are children because I see them with my eyeballs, okay? My eyeballs are telling me that I see some children there, okay? But I think she feels like, okay, I could lose my children if I allow them to go there without me, because she's never going to go, right? So this is why she's scared when Harry will go for periods of time and he'll want to take the children. Like, why would you not allow him to take these kids to go see the king?
Because she knows that he's miserable. He'll probably just send papers, I'm out.
Yeah.
The control. She took him to an island, what is it? Burn the bridge and drown the boats, sunk the boats. They're on the island of one together. She's got that control over him over in Montecito. But if he goes over to the UK around his family, has his kids, yeah, that might be an opportunity for him to get out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
So Sounds like she might be a little nervous of losing the control. But I do think she kind of wants him and herself to be associated with the royals because they're doubling down on that Sussex.com and giving their kid the prince and princess title. Call me ma'am, call me sir. This woman loves the royal perks, but she doesn't want to do the work. So if she got a chance to act like she was a duchess again, just for show, she would love it. But she wants to still be in Hollywood. So I think if Harry got that part-time connection where he went by himself, she would like that. But again, that would never happen. He would have to be all in, and then that would eliminate Meghan. So I think you're right that she has that control with the kids. That's going to be an iffy situation if they do separate with this.
Yeah.
They would look at her and they would have to go visit him. If they separate, I think she would get custody and he would just go to England. That's what I think.
You think that would happen? Okay, so how do you foresee this moving forward? Do you see that this relationship is got what, 1 year, 2, 3, 5? What do you forecast? And I'll tell you what I believe.
Well, I'm a crystal ball. Well, I always said the 7-year itch, and we're on number 6. Can you believe it's only been 6 years? I feel like it's been 30.
It's
Only
been forever, yeah.
years. So I would say 7 or 8, but I'm going to throw in a wild card. If something happens to King Charles within the next year or so, and the whole family goes into crisis mode, I think that's going to accelerate him going back into the fold and leaving her behind and divorce. I would say within 1 to 2 years, I'm going to see a divorce or separation. That's my
Okay, so 1 to 2 years, 7-year itch.
7-year itch. Yeah, I gave him 7 years, which is next year. If nothing happens in the royal family, it could string along for another 2 or 3 years, possibly. Because again, right now, in his current situation, where is he going to go? His family doesn't want him. The UK doesn't want him. He doesn't have any friends. He's hanging out with Meghan and Montecito. He is a man without a purpose, a man without a country. So he's trying to make it work with Invictus and Meghan, but they have small kids. Right? He's got small children. But if he gets in trouble with the US and gets deported, and if a crisis happens over in the UK, that could help him get it, like I said, a foot in the door and give him an opportunity to go back to his family. But the way that the cards are right now, he's kind of stuck with her and she likes it like that. Right? So he might have to stick around for another couple of years while she's trying to drag out this career, that's not happening. Right. But I don't see them past 10 years. That I really don't. But I kind of think it might happen a little sooner if stuff happens in the UK. That's my call.
Okay, so I am with you on that. I think it's 7 years. I think we're going to see, should the king still be alive, Harry will move at some point to the United Kingdom. I don't know that he'll be within the royal fold while the king is still alive, but I believe he will go back. And I think they'll try to make it look as if they're still together, but he's taking care of things in the United Kingdom. But the reality will be that this is where he feels comfortable. This is where he wants to be. He is falling out of love, like, infatuation, whatever, with that woman with the big head. And he's wanting to be around more authentic things, because I do feel that Harry wants to be around the work of helping people and African parks. That's a situation as well that he needs to address, because not going to the charity that he is a part of and getting what has happened over there under control is a big mistake for him. He needs to be over there. And I think sending other people to take care of it or demanding that they do it is not good enough, because I heard this has been going on. I'm sure you've heard about this, the abuse that's been going on with the people over in the charity African parks, that this has been going on since last year. Absolutely. And this is nothing new.
Yeah, for over a year. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like I said, he makes a statement about telling people, worry about the king, don't worry about my website. Well, how about worry about African parks? Like, you could fly over to the UK, for a 30-minute visit with your daddy, 11-hour flight, and then you fly over to Vegas, you can do all these things. Well, couldn't you have flown afterwards, to Africa and literally make like, you know what, I don't know what's going on, but we need to fix this? Nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. And that's what's appalling.
That's terrible. And here's the thing, he always talks about Africa. I love Africa. I love Africa. But we all know Meghan has no desire to be in Africa. That woman she lied. She
Yeah.
lied in her, and when she was dating him, oh, I love African people. Look at these little bracelets. Never seen that girl wear those bracelets again. The minute she got the tank watch, she threw that in the trash. Okay. Meghan's not going to be wearing no African bracelet and be singing Kumbaya, hanging out there. That was a lie. That was a trick to get him thinking, oh, she likes Africa. Check.
Mm-hmm. You don't.
Perfect. No, Meghan Markle's Hollywood. Okay. That's who she is. And she lied to him. She pulled the wool over his eyes. And now he realizes the mistake, right? But this whole African parks, the fact that they both have been silent is horrible.
It's horrible. I mean, how do you show that you really have an ounce of compassion for people when you can't even be there to support the people that are suffering at the hands of your charity? Like, how, I mean, now I saw these documentaries with Harry when he was younger, and he genuinely, to me, looked like he was happy to help the people, the kids, the young people. But then I have to question it, but like, why are you not over there taking care of these people, these indigenous people? And then did you see when they were at the Invictus, the indigenous people, that they were trying to talk about having talking about reparations or having these important discussions around what has happened in the past? Like who are you, Harry, to say that you're going to be able to move anything forward around what's happening to the people in Canada when you're not even a part of the royal family? It's like, excuse me,
Yeah.
right?
Right. The whole Aryan and feminism and thing that Meghan talks about, and the whole unconscious bias and the racism of the royal family. Well, here's your chance to go fix something, a major problem, and you've done nothing. Instead, you went to Whistler, Canada with all of your $100,000 for 3 days of outfits. She literally came out of that restaurant and those glasses she was wearing. I said in my video, she channeled Gwyneth Paltrow in her trial when she's like, I missed a half day of skiing. And she was literally wearing glasses. Like, she looked so pretentious. Meanwhile, nothing in African parks, but let's see you twice dining out in California in designer duds. That's so important, Meghan. Such a humanitarian, such a feminist, right? And
Right.
those African women, they don't matter. Those African people, that's not the unconscious bias and the racism. That doesn't matter. Just you and the royal family. Is that the only people you care about?
Right.
So such a hypocrite. And that's why I say this whole rich girl aesthetic, flying around on private jets, all those SUVs, and then preaching us little people about our carbon footprint.
Yeah.
But I don't speak to my daddy who's had a stroke, right? It's like, you don't walk the walk. So that's why you're not authentic. People don't like you. So good luck with that talk show, sweetheart.
Yeah, good luck with the TIG. Good luck with anything, Meghan Markle, because you are so out of your league when it comes to just being a decent human being. You can't even I mean, people that are suffering where you could make a difference, you could actually go over there and do something. But what do? You choose to show you're dining with Oprah's producer and going to lunch and with other people that are supposed to be like, what, helping you with your new branding, but not really doing the meaningful work. This is why I think the channels that we have where we talk about this is really important to keeping Harry and Meghan in check. Because imagine if no one talked about it, if no one talked about the egregious behavior of Harry and Meghan and what they're doing by ignoring the real people who are suffering and just living this pretentious life and redoing their website and saying, call me ma'am, just because she knows she can't use HRH, like how they would be getting over. And I think people that partner with them, like Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, these people are finding themselves as well not well liked in, I think, the Black community, because we can see how aligning with someone like Meghan is going to lower your brand. It's going to make you seem not likable, because Meghan is not liked, I think, in big, huge circles, even celebrity circles, because they see her coming a mile away.
Well, you know, it's really interesting that you said that, Padina, because I've been a royal fan like you, since Princess Diana, back in the day, I used to read all those magazines, and my mom used to get so mad at me because if she saw Diana on the cover, she had to buy it, and she was on the cover.
Right.
So she didn't buy it for me. But I literally didn't hear about Harry and Meghan and all the things they were doing until I started watching According to Taz way back in 2019. I remember I caught one of her videos and I thought, oh, okay. Huh.
Hmm.
It wasn't really being reported at the time. But now that we're all out there talking about it, people are like, why do you keep talking about it? I'm like, because they're in the press and we have to tell people the truth. Funny story, I got my hair done yesterday. My hairdresser doesn't follow it. She started telling me, oh yeah, well, William, he had an affair. And I'm like, don't even get me
Are
started.
you kidding me?
Like, you don't even know about the royals, but yeah, you hear the rumor. So I had to educate her over 2 hours to get my hair highlighted. Girl, let me set you straight. And the other, I go to my PO box. There's an older gentleman, and when they found out I do royal commentary, the first thing he said was, "Oh, the royals killed Diana." It's like, this is what people think about. They don't really know everything that's happening in the royal family. So I had to educate my hairdresser. I'm like, "Girl, we got 3 hours. Let's start from the beginning." Let me,
Right, right. And you know why that is?
yeah.
Well, because People Magazine, they're the ones that take Meghan's PR. They're the ones that do all the stories that she puts out there that she's trying to win over the Americans. So let me ask you this question. Do you feel that the American public, as a majority, are not up to date on what Harry and Meghan are really trying to do? Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
because I'll meet people all the time, and if they casually find out what I'm doing, they was, what's going on with Harry and Meghan? And then a lot of people, they don't have a clue. Everything. Oh, well, the royal family was so mean to her. I'm like,
yeah. No, so I did the same thing. So I went to the Taco Bell drive-through, young Black girl there, and I said to her, they asked her the same thing. What do you think about Meghan Markle? And I do have it on video because I did ask her if I could film her. I just haven't aired it yet, but she said the same thing. She felt sorry for her. And I think this is why we see Meghan trying to do all the things that she is doing, because she knows she can win over the majority of Americans with this PR and the tabloids, the American People magazine, and Vogue, and all the other ones that really cater to just feel good stories and the Yahoo stories, where she can get people to believe that she's the victim,
I
you
will
know.
say are turning the tide. The last 2 years, people have kind of come over to our, to see the truth. Because when Harry did the NFL thing on the cover of Yahoo, I just went into the comment section and it was so brutal. It was like people were ripping them. So every time they do something, I always go to the comment. That gets the feel. And so I would say most part, more and more people definitely are feeling and seeing what we're seeing, and they're sick of them. They're just sick of them, right? But there are like a lot of people out there randomly who don't follow it, who don't read it like we do, and who just have that one little, oh, well, women had an affair, right? Oh, the royal family killed Diana. Oh, they're so mean to the interracial girl, that they said, the biracial girl, they're so mean to her. Don't even know her name. They don't even know her name. And that's how sad it is. So I always hear little glimpses, but then I have some people who are up on Harry and Meghan. And one funny story, my mom was on Facebook, and she watches my videos sometimes because she's busy, okay, whatever. So I saw my mom got in a chat and they were talking about Harry and Meghan, about why Meghan didn't go. My mom's like, she wasn't invited. I'm like, Mom, getting a little spicy watching my video. But for her to put that comment was hilarious about the royals. So I do think it's kind of changing. But for me, According to Taz was the very first person who kind of educated me, because this was down the time when they were having rumblings where they were separating their charities back in 2000.
Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Frogmore Cottage. And I was like, that's interesting. That's a
Yeah.
high that there was problems. Remember? It wasn't
Yeah.
just exits. And I was like, okay. So back then, I think according to Taz and Murky May were one of the first people who actually started kind of calling them out on YouTube. And that's
Yeah.
what, and
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what we do is important, right?
Yeah, yeah, with that said, yeah, I think it is important because I think so with Dan Wooten, the other story around, he's been exonerated. He is no longer going to be the charges brought against him for these allegations, which they're saying that the witch hunt that was against Dan Wooten were people that were behind, allegedly a part of Harry and Meghan's camp. I don't know if you had heard that or not, but I think there are people in these social media groups that are targeting anti-Meghan commentary to get them taken down because I think she feels very threatened by the loud noise of opposition that is out there, and her determination is so much so that she will actually pay people to go out and to make false allegations to take down these people. Now, I'm alleging this. We don't know for sure, but that is what people are saying that she's been behind that. Have you heard anything about that?
I heard bits and pieces of that, but I will say I don't think she has the power that she once had. Like when she got Pierce Morgan fired, I don't think she has that power anymore. I think people are sick of her. And Pierce Morgan came back, but I do think, they had paid people in the past, but I kind of feel like they don't have the money, quite frankly. I don't think they have the power and the money anymore. And more people are starting to see them for who they are. The tide is shifting. So her paying people, yeah, that probably was a smear campaign, 100%. But can we attach it to Harry and Meghan? Maybe, maybe not. But again, I think they're losing that battle.
You think they're losing that battle? So what does that mean? So when I think about them losing the battle, I think seeing the brand just disintegrate. Like at some point, there has to be a collapse where this couple meets their impending doom. Like, what does that look like? I wonder what that looks like. We're here. Okay, I'm done with my popcorn. The show is over. Like, what does it look like? Right?
And they don't get fined with another company. That
Yeah.
if Netflix is over, if their movie tanks, if Invictus goes belly up because they're having financial problems right
Because
now.
of Meghan.
And then if Harry goes back to the working royal, well, yeah, I'd say that's over for them.
Okay. And that's when, okay, and this is the thing, when the divorce happens, I promised a lot of people that I was going to go back to England. I was going to have another event for the divorce, okay? Because I do you remember the event that I had when I went to for the King's coronation and I went to the ball, Lady C's ball. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So would you want to come as well?
I would definitely for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to be rounding up these YouTubers. When the divorce happens, we're going to have to get some cameras. We're going to have to go to the UK or maybe even have a tour, go to Scotland and go to Australia, go to some other countries as well. And we have to celebrate because I think that impending divorce is going to be because of the likes of you, myself, and other YouTubers who kept it real because we keep it real when it comes to this couple. Okay. And I want to have, okay, so I'm going to start asking all the YouTubers if you want to come with us to the United Kingdom when the divorce of Harry and Meghan happens, and we'll have an event where people can come see us and we'll talk and we'll have some discussion. Let me know. Okay. So my website is PDINA.net. Okay. Reach out to me if you want to be in the raffle, if you want to be on our list to be notified when we come to the United Kingdom, when Harry and Meghan get divorced. We got to make this a big event, okay? Because I think our hard work will then really pay off. Because,
Yes.
hey, look, we got to do something, right? We have to.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be a couple years, but who knows? But I definitely feel like their brand is in major trouble. And if they lose Netflix, yeah, that's gonna
Yeah, I
be
think they are. I think they are. I think that's why we're seeing her talk with Oprah and Apple, because this is not going to go past year 2025. And anything that they decide to do is going to be not well received. And the brand is going to collapse. And I think this rebranding with Sussex.com and trying to do away with what was talked about during the Sandringham Summit, trying to overstep the bounds of the Queen, I think is a disrespect to the Queen and her death. I think everything that they're doing is going to come back and it's just not going to work out. But it's fun watching. It's fun watching.
Yeah, what about WME? See, I kind of feel like they're going to be uncoupling this year.
Yes. So I reached out to WME, right? Yes, and I don't think that they're really pushing her. I think they see that she's difficult to sell. She's a hard sell, right? And I think the lack of talent, the lack of real connection to the royal family, that's why she's trying to rebrand as a royal now, because she's lost her collateral. She doesn't have anything that really makes her special. This is why she's trying to rebrand to the royals. I think this is why she's doing that. But the royal family, they've played their cards really well, and WME is not going to be able to make money from her. It's just not going to work out.
Yeah, they made nothing. She's a dry well. And
a done deal.
I think WME's working with Oprah and helping Meghan get that deal if she gets a deal. So I don't know if they're going to make any money off of her. And Luminata is going to be squeezing some old lemons. So I don't know. It just seems like she's going down and not up.
Yeah, it's down and not up. That is perfect, because there's nothing that has elevated anything that they've done to say you're succeeding in America. Everything has been branding with grifters, losers. We've got people making fun of you. More and more Americans are becoming tuned to who you are and what you're trying to do. So yeah, I think that's what it's going to be for sure. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm so excited. Those are all the stories that I had. Was there anything that you wanted to mention or talk about?
No, just the whole Invictus games and what's happening with the not the Home Office, with the deportation. I guess we're going to find out. I don't really know what happened after the court case. Is there another date?
I think there's going to be some more information coming out about the lawsuit that the Heritage Foundation has. My oldest is scratching at me. He's ready to go. They are waiting to, I think the judge actually has to make a decision. There has to be a decision that has to come out about that. So we'll wait and see. I'm sure you're talking about it on your channel. I'll be talking about it on my channel as well. But I hope that man gets deported. I think he wants to be deported. I think he wants to be. I'm sick of being with that woman and lying and making things all nice. But then it's the unfortunate thing is the children.
Yeah.
Play his cards to the point where his children are never going to have the relationship that he wants them to be to America. I mean, to the United Kingdom, because they're already going to be sounding like Americans, like
his kids too. I think he wants his kids to have the British upbringing like he did. I mean, why give them a prince and princess title and then raise them in California? That makes no sense.
No sense. They have played their cards horribly, and I'm glad they did, because that's what they deserve because of how they are. They're just, the perpetration is just too thick. So yeah.
Popcorn ready. We'll have a watch party.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that. So that's all I have to say, but just remind everyone to sign up. Go to my website, PDINA.net, to be a part of my raffle to win some of this money from Bansky. A lot of British people should know about this. Bansky England, Bansky of England dollar or pounds. And this photo right here of our lovely Catherine of Wales. You can win this. And I'm going to be doing a show for the eclipse. More information to be coming out about that, because it's going to be going right through my hometown. If you want to watch my show for that, and where people can find you, my dear.
Royal Daily Tea, and also Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion. I have 2 YouTube channels. Okay, great. So thanks so much for being with me. Thanks for all the super chats,
Oh, Teddy's mummy just sent me a super sticker. Thank you so much, Teddy's mummy. And for all of the super stickers and chats, I appreciate your support. And also, I haven't talked about this of yet, but real quickly, I have a charity that has a YouTube channel. We're starting to talk about a lot of things around young people and things that you see in pop culture. Head over to my charity, go to my website. Everything is there, PDINA.net. You can, check out my YouTube channel with my charity to see other things that I'm talking about and to kind of get some different takes on other things because, Harry and Meghan, pretty soon we're going to be just celebrating their demise, their end, because it is coming. It is coming. Okay. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for being with me today and have a lovely, lovely Saturday. Okay.
To be here. Thanks for having